Hey YouTube, I have a deck tech for you guys today. This one is based off of Goblin Bombardment. I had a couple of these, a friend just traded me, and I just was like, oh, this is actually a pretty good card, and I wanted to make a deck off of these. Goblin Bombardment, for don't know, is a sacrifice creature, and it deals 1 damage to target creature or player. This is actually pretty good, especially if you have an aggro deck and you just sack a creature to deal the final damages that you may need to kill off your opponent. So I thought it would be a lot of fun to see what I can do with these, especially with tokens. Red is pretty good with tokens nowadays. So this is a deck. Hope you guys will have fun with it as well. So just like for the namesake, we have 3 Goblin Bombardments. I do not have a playset for this one because I feel drawing more than 1 Goblin Bombardment is a dead draw. Granted, if your meta plays a lot of enchantment destruction, then you may want to put in a playset. But for now, I only have 3 because I do want to focus on building up tokens and actually attacking with them and then sacking them when necessary. I have 4 Gataxian Probes. This is for mainly for young pyromancer as well as monastery Swiftspear, which I will get into in a sec. But these are good ways to see what your opponent has in their hand, as well as being able to draw a card and activating prowess and producing tokens with the pyromancers. Over here we have a playset of Krenko's Command as well as Dragon's Father. These are your Goblin token generators. They both do the same thing, putting 2 1/1 red Goblin tokens into play. This is basically your turn 2 for most of your game, so you can get out the Goblins, start attacking with them, doing the initial damage, and then sacking them later. Next, I have a playset of Manamorphose. Manamorphose is a great card, especially for decks like these, because not only do they give you the mana fixing, which is not really necessary in this deck, but the fact that it is an instant, it's a free card to play. It's basically a free card to play with Young Pyromancer and Prowess cards, such as Monastery Swiftspear. And this is a really good card for these type of decks. Just thins out your deck. I highly recommend that anybody plays with these, because these are just great cards. Next, we have a playset of Lightning Bolts. Lightning Bolts, of course, are your basically your best direct damage spells. You can't go wrong with these. Then I have 3 of Goblin Grenades. Goblin Grenades were put in because 5 damage is a decent amount of damage, considering that it can hit either a player or a creature. Again, if you're attacking correctly and you're being very aggressive, and your opponent has just a couple of hit points left, Goblin Grenade was definitely a good card to finish them off. And the fact that you have Dragon Fodder and Krenko's commands, you will probably definitely have enough goblins to sacrifice at the time. Next up, we have our creatures for this deck. For this, I have 3 Monastery Swiftspears. For those of you who have not played with this creature before, I highly recommend that you do play with them. They are awesome cards. I have no idea what Wizards was thinking when they made this card, but a 1-drop with for 1/2 haste and prowess is insane, especially when using the conjunction with Gataxian Probes and Manamorphose is basically free boost for them, and it is very possible to attack with a turn 1, 3/4, haste and so forth. Monastery Swiftspear is great. I love this card. I would put in a playset. I just happen to don't have the 4th one right now, but if I had them, I would definitely put them in. So definitely put in a playset of these. They do lose some of their power later on in the game, late game, if your deck actually gets to the late game, which is kind of unfortunate. But definitely awesome turn 1 drops. I would definitely recommend a playset of them. Next up, we have 2 Hellriders. Hellriders are put in here for another win condition other than your Goblin Bombardment. You attack with these because they have haste themselves. If you have a lot of tokens out, they will deal 1 damage while they're even though the person blocks and whatnot. The thing is, remember, you can attack with your tokens, and then once they deal damage with Hellrider's ability, then you can also sack them to Goblin Bombardment to deal even more damage at the end. So I only have 2 of them because they are 4 converted mana costs, so they are a little bit heavy on the mana. But if for some reason you get into the late game, Hellriders can definitely help you finish off the game. Next up, we have 4 Young Pyromancers. Young Pyromancers are great, especially used with probes, Manamorphose, Lightning Bolts, all the instants and sorceries that you have. you can get the red elemental tokens with it as well, especially when you use your dragon fodders and your Kringle commands. You'll get 3 tokens, enough for sacrificing or just to attack with. Young Pyromancers are great cards. Again, another card that I wonder why Wizards was, what they were doing when they made it, but it is definitely a good 2-drop. Next up, we have 4 Mog War Marshals. I put these in because I think they're pretty good. You basically get 2 goblins when you cast these. You can sack the Mog War Marshal to Goblin Bombardment or Goblin Grenade to deal 5 damage, and you get another Goblin token in play. So the Echo cost, you don't really worry as much. You normally never pay it anyway because you're just going to get the extra Goblin token when it comes in. Lastly, we have 2 Krinko mob boxes. I put these in for late games. Again, if you happen to make it and you need a little bit more fuel or whatnot, these will actually help you out. If you have a decent amount of tokens out, even if you have 2 and you bring it out and you use this guy, you're going to get 3 more goblins just like that. So that with a Goblin Bombardment will definitely help you win the game. Attacking with all those goblins will, it's really hard to defend against. And yeah, here we go. The rest of the deck, it will be mountains. If you want to add any other mountains, that's okay. I can probably maybe recommend 1 Valakut if you want to, because it does come into play tapped, so that does slow down the game, your game a little bit. So I don't really recommend a lot of them, but you never know. Having a Valakut in and then using the mountains to finish your opponents off will also be a good choice and good consideration. But yeah, this is a pretty fun deck, very fast, very easy to play. Just deal damage to your opponents. Price-wise, not super expensive. The Swiss Spears are $250 last time I checked. I don't see anything else that's super expensive. The Krankos have gone up a little bit because of Commander, and people love them from Commander. But other than that, this deck won't cost you too much either. So try it out. It's definitely a lot of fun, and hope you guys have some good times with it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos like these. I definitely love producing deck tech videos like these and sharing my deck ideas. And just share your comments below and your thoughts. Thanks.